want smoke, dog. Yeah, call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See where this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, no. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Yeah, I've been so my frustration. I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like whole squad like yeah. In the field like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple school. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna blame me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pull out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. I'ma run to the bed until we
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Indianapolis Colts. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Naeem Hines, his first carry. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Brissett now. Going right side here, and that's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. He's going to loft one, deep left. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
King throwing to start the drive. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He's got a 1st down past the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, King. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll run. It's Lindsey. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Here's King to throw on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They're going to try and throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs.
36. Joker.
On 1st and 10, Brissett is going to float this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Brissett, and he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
1st down, Brissett letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. TJ Green with a pick. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. King, open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. To throw is King. Throwing on 1st down. He's going to float this over the middle. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Catch made here by Campbell. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Harris Campbell, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Back to throw. King. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Brissett to throw on first. He's got it. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race. Pascal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And it's an early lead there for the Saints. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB break.
Now it's Hines. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 29.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after 1.
Ready. Mine's 59.
3rd and short yardage, Brissett. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down. On 1st down, Hines. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. He's going to be stopped well behind the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much going to wipe out their gain from 1st down. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's a baby shot.
On 3rd down, Brissett dancing to his left. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The kick by Joseph is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
But not a big gain with that play. But what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Looking to throw. King. Quick hitter here. It's complete. The catch and run there. Good for 16 and a 1st.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 45-yard line.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. Come on.
King now to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Check 53's Mike. Check 53's Mike.
Now King on 3rd down. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. T.Y. Hilton deep for the Colts. Now this is fielded in the end zone.
T.Y. Hilton on the return. The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On second down now. It's Hines, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That one good for 24 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. No problem there on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Number 53, Mike 53.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. King from the gun, he'll throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. King. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's King, operating from the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's Silva. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. To throw is King on first down. He's got Smith here. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Go. Motion. Let's go. Mike. 51. Who that?
51's the mic. 51's the mic.
Hey, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Looking to throw. King. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And now look at him go. The 40, the 30, 20, 10. And he's giving his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
They'll take over 1st down and goal at the 3-yard line.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They come up in an offset eye. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Hines. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the kick by Joseph is good. So we've reached down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
On the play. And it's 3rd down.
Okay, ready? 53. Check 53. Here we go.
King now to throw on 3rd down. Looking middle, and that's complete. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
A gain of 15. 1st down, Denver.
On the double.
53 is the mic.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Now King on 1st and 10. He's going to air one out. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. King going to throw again. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Check, 53's mine. Check, 53's mine.
To throw again, King. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Back to throw. King. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 11.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Take over 1st and 10.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Hines. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Check the backer, check the backer.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett. He's going to loft one deep left. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
1st and 10 at their own 3-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Troy Apke. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. They'll run on first down. Hines. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
This is Hines. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. The kick by Joseph is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 24-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Here's King to throw again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Looking to throw. King. And he fires one, but incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Alert flare. Alert flare. 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 Orbit. 58. Right over there. Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58. Right there. All day. All day.
He'll try and throw for it here. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10.
I got him.
Back to throw. King. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
You got tight right there. 53 is the mic. 53. Check 53. Haywood. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Check mic. Check mic. Check.
Looking to throw. King. This is the tight end, Fant. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. To throw is King. Throwing on fourth down. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. King now from the gun, he'll throw. Flushed out right, and eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Jake Ryan, he's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Big loss here as he's taken down. Jannard Avery make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull the... In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Completes it to Fant on the right side. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Let's go. Let's do this. Let's go. Time to end it.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Check. 59. I don't think you got it, son. Kill. 66. Pull it. Now. Kill. Echo. Go.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Brissett. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
6 guys. 2-6. 59 Mike. Check. 59.
Brissett sets to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Now King throwing on 1st down. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
18 big yards on that one and a Denver first.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
King on first down. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
At the 44-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
53, Mike, 53. I got him. 53's the Mike. 53, check 53.
Here's 2nd and 8. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They run with Hines. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
He's rotate. Spell. Delta.
On 2nd and 9. Brissett. And his throw is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running on 1st down with Ware. And his first carry, he loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football.
And he lost the football. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
Come on, set. 10, touchdown. Silver. Slow, small. Check.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
Here's King looking to throw on second down. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Well, when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, King. This is Fant on the short. It's second down. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
That's what I do. Check 52. Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Back to throw. King. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help